What's up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Ask Alex, where this is the show where we take your questions and answer them here on this show. I'm your host, Alex Hampton. Today, we have a very special show for you guys. A lot of things to tackle, but Jeremy couldn't be here today because he has a lot of other things that he had to do. But I do have my other co-host with me, Ian Elliott Carter. How are you doing today, Ian?
Man, I'm blessed and highly favored. I appreciate us doing this every week. I'm not in my original studio if you're a fan of the show, but I'm making it work.
Yeah, and that's what we do as creators. We take what we got and we just make it work to the best of our ability. So glad to have him on the show. And if this is your very first time ever watching any of my episodes, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Then hit that bell right next to it. That way you get all the notifications of every time I'm releasing a video here on my YouTube channel. And if you want your topic or question on this show, it's very simple. All you have to do is just send me an email at theaskalexshow@gmail.com. That's theaskalexshow@gmail.com. If you submit your email, your topic or question towards me, it could potentially be answered here on the show. So I appreciate all the questions that you guys send me and the rest of our crew to tackle these particular issues. Like I said before, we have a great show for you guys today. So let's go ahead and jump into the first topic of the day. And the first topic comes from Eric Overton. I think I'm pronouncing his last name right. And he writes, "Hey Alex, did you see Dave Chappelle's new comedy special 846? If so, what did you think about his special?" Well, thank you for your question, Eric. So, what Eric's referring to, literally, I believe it was either yesterday or a couple days ago. Dave Chappelle released a free Netflix special that you can watch on Netflix and you can watch on YouTube on the Netflix comedy page. Netflix is a joke or something of that nature. And I didn't even know he did a special. It wasn't until really when my co-hosts were messaging in through the group me about it, I was like, oh, let me check this out. And I checked it out. It's like 30 minutes long, about 30 minutes, not exactly 30 minutes. And I don't really consider it a special. It's more so like talking with punchlines, because he's addressing George Floyd. He's addressing like a lot of the injustices in this world, and there are some funny moments in it. But I have to say, from a comedian standpoint, this was very needed, because him and there have been other comedians who've done certain things like this as well, but this was something needed because Dave Chappelle is doing this show in his home in Ohio, which is one of the most racially charged areas that you can do a show at. And he was just basically talking and telling the truth that this man got killed for no reason. And he was calling out people like Don Lemon. He was calling out Candace Owens. One of my favorite jokes that he did, he's like, if I ever see Candace Owens, I'm going to kick her in her stinking pussy. And I'll let you guys know if it's stinking or not, but I'll let you know it's something that's definitely well deserved. So I was just like, after watching it, I was like, I was more informed than I was trying to get a laugh. But Ian, you saw this special. It seemed like you guys enjoyed it as well in the group me. What did you think about the special, and do you think it was necessary for this movement that we got going on?
Well, first of all, you're absolutely right. It was funny, but it was more for awareness, and that's what I love and respect about it. The only stand-up special I've ever seen like that was kind of Neil Brennan's. He had this special on Netflix called Three Mics, and it's kind of similar where it's more jokey. Neil Brennan did more jokes, but he did bring awareness to a little bit of his mental health and stuff like that. He had his serious moments, and I thought that was very unique. It's much needed though. Don Lemon has been calling out celebrities for a while to speak up on injustice and say something. And Dave was actually right about his joke. Like, who cares what I gotta say? Because I'm just a celebrity. It's all about people doing the change. But at the same time, I kind of agree a little with Don Lemon, because I value Dave Chappelle's point of view. I value his perspective. Him and people like Chris Rock. They're not just entertainers that we want to shut up and dance. Like they bring some intelligent insight, and so I really enjoyed it. I think it was much needed. And there's a lot of Dave Chappelle fans that don't might be like the white people that don't understand some of the black struggles, like in the inner city and stuff like that. And he's their CNN for the moment, because some people will listen. They ain't gonna listen to people like me and you, Alex, but they'll listen to Dave Chappelle. And if that's what needs to bring awareness, that's awesome. And in the way he brought his personal life into some of the issues that mirrored in his life, it was great. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, yeah, and I agree. I really did enjoy the special as well. Like Ian said, people like Dave Chappelle should speak out and do things like this. Also, I want to keep in mind as Black people and just people in general, I don't think it's always necessary to look to celebrities to speak on these issues. I think it's great that they do it, and I think that it's great that it drives the narrative and the conversation. But also, we have to keep in mind that some of these celebrities potentially don't have as much influence as our lawmakers and politicians. So I'm glad that celebrities are speaking out, but like Dave Chappelle, why the fuck do I have to wait for Ja Rule to say something? I don't know. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, we should definitely look to people who have a stronger influence in that. But what do you guys think? What did you guys think about the special? Do you think the special was funny? Did you think it was just a really good informative moment? What do you think about celebrities speaking on these issues? Jump into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Let's go ahead and jump into the next question. Sorry, my phone is like locking up on me. And the next question comes from a Darren Light. And he writes, "Hey Alex, Sony had their PS5 presentation a couple days ago, and we got our first look at the Miles Morales video game. With the success of Spider-Verse and a new game coming out, do you think we'll see a live-action Miles Morales movie in the near future?" So thank you for your question, Darren. I'm sorry, you guys. I made 2 videos about this. When I saw the PS5 presentation, aside from the Miles Morales stuff, I was very underwhelmed. I mean, honestly, the system looks like a router, like a Wi-Fi router, but it does look cool to a degree. But and all the other games that they announced were okay at best in comparison to the Miles Morales stuff that I saw. Now, if anybody who's ever played the PS4 Spider-Man game, which I have, it's amazing. You really feel like you're Spider-Man while playing that game. And I made my reaction video to it and also did a follow-up video. By the way, I need to clarify something, that Insomniac Games they're saying it's not an expansion. It's a full game. It's going to be a full standalone game. It's not going to be extra downloadable content. No, it's a full game that's going to come out for the PlayStation 5, potentially for the PlayStation 4. Nothing has been confirmed just yet. Now, to get to your question, with the success of Spider-Verse, which it did get an Oscar, and it was successful in the box office, and this new game coming out, does these leave more breadcrumbs for us to finally get a live-action Miles Morales movie, potentially either under the MCU or somewhere in their weird Spider-Verse? I'm gonna be honest with you. Actually, no, I don't believe so. I don't believe so at all. I don't believe we will see Miles Morales in live action form, honestly, anytime soon. And there's the reason why. I was told by one of the people who were working on Spider-Man Far From Home, right when they were doing the promotions of that movie, that Miles Morales is going to make a cameo in that movie. I was told that. That never happened. I even bought the DVD just to see if there are deleted scenes. No, Miles Morales was never cast, nor was he ever going to be in the movie. I'll say this: they probably were looking at some actors for that character to be portrayed, but I don't believe that ultimately he was going to show up. I think though the main reason why I don't believe we'll see a Miles Morales live action movie is because right now, under Sony's deal with Marvel, I don't know what that deal entails in terms of them telling Peter Parker's story, but I have to believe that Miles Morales doesn't fit that juncture. I have to, only because things are like right now, after they finish their 2-year deal with Spider-Man, things are so shaky right now. We don't know if Tom Holland will stay at Marvel or continue his own little Spider Verse outside of Marvel. It's so up in the air right now. So for me, I hope one day we will see a Miles Morales live action movie, but from what I'm seeing from Spider Verse and even this video game, although there are great things that I believe our culture needs, especially blurred culture, I don't believe that Sony is going to make a live action Miles Morales movie. And to wrap up my point, the closest thing we'll get to that is Spider Verse. That's it. Like that's the closest thing we'll get to it. They had the opportunity to make a live action Miles Morales movie, and they didn't. They chose to do an animated movie, which it was still a dope movie, but I don't really see them making a live action Miles Morales movie anytime soon. But Ian, I think you saw the trailer. What did you think about the live action game trailer? And do you think this is any closer of us getting a live action Miles Morales Sony movie?
Yeah, my thoughts on the game are positive. I disagree, though. I think that they are eventually going to do a Miles Morales like live action, just because the subject we have all the time about some of the diversity, whether people like it or not. These studios are loving the money that it's bringing, and I think eventually they're going to be like, we got to put Miles Morales in the front, kind of like Marvel did with Black Panther, just because we loving this money and this attention and this. Right now, this movement of Black empowerment is very profitable. You know, as much as we can, that's a different subject of it being used for profits, kind of an evil thing, but at the same time, it's bringing awareness. So I think that's coming. Do I think it's coming anytime soon? Probably not. As much as they know it's profitable, it's still it's a process. You can't just live action Miles Morales after they literally just did a cartoon and they're still in this whole live action with this other Tom Holland Spider-Man. I don't think Sony's made some dumb decisions, but I don't think they're gonna do it like that. They don't just throw it out like that real quick. Like so, I'm holding up hope. I do want to see live action. I think it's in the further future, but it will happen.
Yeah. I mean, I do think it will happen at some point. I just don't like Ian said. Like you can't just throw these things out and then they just happen. I do agree when he says, we are in the age now where people are looking at certain aspects of our culture and they're like, oh, let's do that. Like, I do agree with that to a degree, but at the same time, like, although I love that video game trailer, I love what they're doing in Spider-Verse, I don't really think that we'll see a live act. Like, I can guarantee you in the next 5 years, like from this point on and from by 2025, we will not see the live action Miles Morales. I hope to be proven wrong, but I can almost guarantee that we will probably won't see a live action Miles Morales movie. But what do you guys think? Do you think that we'll see a live action Miles Morales movie? What did you guys think about the video game trailer? And also, what do you think about Miles Morales probably potentially joining the MCU? Just jump into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. And guys, we have our final question today. And our final question comes from, let's see, a Tisha Kettles. And oh boy, I can't wait to get into this question. And she writes, hey Alex, so there are rumors circulating that Beyonce is in Black Panther 2. I read that her team denounced those rumors, but I'm seeing that the people didn't want Beyonce in this movie because she can't act. Do you think Beyonce is a bad actor? Well, thank you for your question, Tisha. I believe I pronounced your last name. I mean your first name right, Tisha. So thank you for your question. Okay, first of all, when this report came out, even in the report, it never said that she was going to be in Black Panther 2. At least the report I read was that she did $100 million deal with Disney in regards to some songs and things that she was doing musically, not necessarily her acting. So it was more, in my opinion, at least from what I took from it, was more music related. Her team then later on that day, or I believe the very next morning, denounced that said that she's never had any meetings with Disney in regards to her making any form of music, cameos, or all this other stuff. So that got debunked really fast. And then I saw conversations saying that, she was going to be Storm and Black Panther 2, and she was going to be one of the marquee people. Like Beyonce was going to replace Nakia in Black Panther, and I'm like, I even if that were true, I don't think that T'Challa is just going to be like, oh, she has powers and she's fine. Sorry, Nakia, I'm gonna go. I don't believe that would ever happen. So that was debunked. Now to answer the question, is do I think that she's a bad actor? Now I can't speak for Ian, and I can't speak for everyone else. I have noticed, and even with some of my peers or people who've done this, are hopping on the train of Beyonce is a bad actor. Everybody's entitled to their opinion, but I would like to point out movies like I like there's a few movies that she has done that are not good, obviously. But there are movies that I've watched that I think that she's decent in. Like she did really well in Dreamgirls. She did really well in Obsession. I think it's called Obsessed or Obsession. I liked her in Fighting Temptations with Cuban Gooding Jr. There's this one film she did, I believe it's called Carmen or Karen, where she's like a very dramatic, actor, like enduring the loss of her son. So Beyonce can act. I mean, I can't wholeheartedly say from looking at her filmography that she's a terrible actor. I can't put that label on her. There's this one person that I saw who is shitting on her because of her performance on Lion King, but you've never seen the movie, and you're justifying. You're saying that she's a bad actor because of she didn't show enough emotion in Lion King, and you've even said that, oh well, I didn't watch the movie because I heard that she was a bad actor and I saw all the behind the scenes stuff. I'm like, first of all, and this is my gripe with that is that she was playing Nyla, the older version of Nyla. Nyla, even in the original movie, wasn't like a spunky, like active Oscar-winning actor. I don't know how much she could have given to that role. I don't. So when I watched the live action Lion King and I was judging her performance, I thought it was okay for what it was. It didn't, for me, it didn't need to be Oscar level for me to be so in love with her portrayal in Lion King. So a lot of people are just shitting on her because of her portrayal in Lion King, and I'm like, I don't really see why people are piling up on her. But Ian, you saw this news. You saw that she could potentially be our Storm and being Black Panther. I just want to know, what do you think about her potentially joining Black Panther, and do you think she's a good actor?
Well, first and foremost, you should never crap on a movie you've never seen before. Exactly. So I'm going to put that out there right now. Whoever said that, you're very ignorant. So yeah, take that, Mom. I'm just kidding. So I live in two different worlds. If you follow my channel, I do a lot of like hip hop and music stuff, and then I also do like movies and television. Both worlds are different when they look at Beyonce. In the music world, Beyonce's queen, god, whatever you want to put it. She's the highest of the high talent. She's near perfect. In the movie and television world, they bash her like crazy. I've noticed. Like whenever she's in a movie, before the trailer even comes out, when it's the announcement that she's going to be whatever, they are immediately trashing her. So it's weird that I see these two type of worlds view Beyonce in a different way. It's crazy. My personal opinion about her acting, I'm with you. I've seen her do great stuff. So I've never understood this notion of she can't act. I think it's just a lot of people that just don't like her, kind of like a Brie Larson, stuff like that. When people don't like somebody, I don't care if it's Oscar worthy. You're terrible. I hate you. They got their mind made up for it. So I'm against that type of look when it comes to this movie and television community that we're in. But yeah, I saw this article. I immediately thought of bogus. Like when it came to her being in Black Panther or her being Storm. I mean, we always got to check the sources. John Campion says it all the time. Check the sources. These sources were they're just somebody's in their basement's article pages. It was ridiculous. So I'm for her being in the MCU. She's not my first pick for Storm, and she's not my first pick. I mean, if she was written well in Black Panther, maybe. I don't know what her character would be, but she's not my pick for Storm. But she's not a bad actress, and rappers and singers rap and join movies and television shows all the time, man. Will Smith's one of the greatest. Mark Wahlberg does a great job. Ice Cube. We could go through the list all day. But like before we make this assumption of what Beyonce is going to do, check the sources and read the full article because it's never once said that. So people just either want this or they want to hate this idea. So we just got to look at the sources and calm down before the beehive kills us.
Yeah, and I agree. Check your sources, and we have to calm down. Listen, I understand that people have their opinions about actresses and people who are in the hip hop or movie industry, but I disagree with the notion of piling up on actors or actresses because you saw them do one thing or maybe a couple other things. Like I said, like when I look at her filmography as an actress, and if you look up her filmography, it's actually not that long, but the movies that she has been in, her performances have been at least at times very good. Very like her performance in Dreamgirls, she wasn't playing just a singer. She went through some shit. Like she went through some shit with Jamie Foxx. Like, so I don't believe that she's a terrible actress at all. I do think though, if she were added on to Black Panther, I think that I personally don't think she should be Storm. She should definitely have a secondary, very small role that can contribute to the people of Wakanda, So that's my take on it. But what do you guys think? Do you think that Beyonce should be in Black Panther? Do you think that she's a terrible actress, or do you think that she's a great actress? Jump into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. And guys, I want to thank you so much for watching this episode of Ask Alex. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel where you get all the updates of every time I'm releasing a video here on this channel. So I want to thank you guys so much. And where can we find you on social media?
And you can find me on Instagram or Twitter at _controversy. And yeah, if you got questions for me, if you want to talk that nerdy stuff or that hip hop stuff, I love to talk it. So come at me. Let's do it.
Yeah. And like, oh, by the way, before we sign off, Ian, I want to publicly congratulate you for crossing that mark of 1,500 subscribers, man. That was dope. I'm glad that you were able to do that, man, because I love to acknowledge how we hit milestones. That was, guys, if you're on YouTube, you would know hitting that type of milestone is not only hard, but once you hit it, it's like, whew, like now it's like I'm here. So I personally I'm so proud of you. Keep making the content that you're making, man. And I pray that we just continue to grow together as creators, because like I said, like with that milestone is definitely not easy for anybody. So congratulations, man.
Hey, appreciate it, man. We're going to keep this train going, man. People like you and Jeremy keep it going.
Yeah, and so, but yeah, if you love what we've been doing on our channels, please check out Ian's channel. A lot of cool things have come out on his channel, and a lot of fun hip hop and pop culture stuff are on his channel as well. So definitely check that out. So I want to thank you guys again for watching this video, and as always, you have a blessed day.